This controller is outdated, and this controller is up to date. And I'll show you how to update the firmware without using a PS5. Did you know that you can update your PlayStation 5 DualSense controller without owning a PS5? If you use your DualSense primarily for PC gaming, like me, your controller could be running outdated firmware, and you might not even know it. In this video, I have two DualSense controller, one already updated, while the other one is running an older firmware. I'm going to show you how to check the firmware version, explain why keeping your controller up to date matters, and then walk you through the complete update process using a Windows PC. You don't need a PlayStation 5 console. All you need is a controller, a compatible USB cable, and a Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer. So let's get into the chase. So here are the two controllers that I'll be using. And as you can see physically, they may look and operate almost exactly the same. The difference is inside the controller. So before updating anything, let's connect each controller to the computer and check what firmware is it currently running. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and click on connect. In this case, I'm gonna select the wireless controller. For some reason, this is considered a wireless controller. It's not showing up as a DualSense controller, but it knows that it's a PlayStation controller. So right off the bat, you can see that the DualSense controller has outdated firmware, and it's asking me to please update the firmware. But obviously, I can't do this with the calibration tool. Nonetheless, I just wanted to show you which is the current version. Okay, so here we can see the firmware information. And I also noticed that in the calibration tool, it doesn't allow me to calibrate because it's using an outdated firmware version, which is kind of odd. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and disconnect and try the second controller. And now I connect the up-to-date controller. I try to connect again. I'll be able to see that now it shows. Okay, so second controller connected here. This one does says DualSense wireless controller. This is the gray camouflage, and as you can see here, it already has the calibration buttons available, and here is the firmware information, which was released on 2024. And I can see also the firmware version and so forth. All three options are available in this version. So for this demonstration, I am using the DualShock Tool website. This is an unofficial open source controller inspection and calibration tool. It supports controllers such as the DualShock 4, DualSense, and DualSense Edge. Now you may be wondering why the firmware version matters if your controller always works. Firmware is the internal software that controls how the controller communicates and operates. Firmware updates can include compatibility improvements, stability improvements, corrections for known software issues, and support for changes introduced in games or operating systems. Keeping the firmware updated can also provide the best available experience when using the DualSense features supported by certain PC games, including the haptic feedback and the adaptive triggers. However, a firmware update is not a guaranteed repair for physical controller problems. For example, if your analog stick has drift caused by worn or damaged internal components, updating the firmware may not fix the underlying hardware problem. Think of this update as a regular maintenance for the controller internal software, not as a replacement for physical repairs. Before beginning, we'll need a DualSense controller or supported DualSense Edge controller, a Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer as we're using here today, a USB cable that supports both charging and data transfer, and the official PlayStation accessory application. Okay, so once you get to the PlayStation accessory website, go ahead and click on download to Windows, choose your language, and then from here go ahead and install it. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Net Frameworks 8.0 installed, so I had to install that first. Once that was done, I could continue with my installation. I accepted the agreement for using the PlayStation accessory app, and then I went through the rest of the installation and clicked on finish. Once you open this, it will give you some details on what is it used for, and in this case, you can pick your poison. I do not like to share my data, so I chose limited. After this, go ahead and connect your PlayStation DualSense controller through USB. I started with the gray camouflage one, and I also went ahead and installed or connected my PlayStation DualSense 5 white controller. Okay, both controllers are connected, and I went ahead and updated my white controller. Now this process might take a while. Please make sure not to disconnect the USB cable during the update of the firmware. This can break your controller or mess it up really bad. So just wait for it to finish. When it gets to 100%, go ahead and click on OK. And that's about it. You'll notice that now you have a new firmware. And then I just went to the calibration tool to verify that the firmware version matches with what is shown on the PlayStation accessory page. Now, interestingly, my white controller now says DualSense wireless controller. Before it had only wireless controller, but now it's up to date, so it shows the proper name. And as you can see here, it's showing up the white controller, and it has the calibration buttons available, and it also has a matching firmware.
Since my gray camouflage controller was also outdated, it was a 2024 release and there's new update for 2025, I went ahead and do the same thing for my gray camouflage controller. The DualSense is a great controller, particularly for PC games that properly support features such as haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. However, it is not the only controller I use or recommend for PC gaming. I'll leave a couple links in the description below for my favorite PC controllers. Now, this is how you update the firmware of a PlayStation 5 DualSense controller using a Windows PC without owning a PlayStation 5. Let me know in the comments below which firmware version you're currently running on and whether a PlayStation accessory detected it immediately. If this tutorial was helpful, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified whenever I release a brand new video. This is video 4. See you on the next one.